Hey guys, I'm back. So sorry it's taken me a while to upload this video. Clearly I am back home and the last couple weeks were a little bit hectic between moving out of our apartment. My parents came to visit and unfortunately this video got pushed to the back burner, but I'm back and I wanted to share my trip to Rome with you guys. My friend Shannon, my friend Isabel and I went to visit Rome and we had about 48 hours. So it was a short trip that was completely jam-packed. And here's how we did it. We took a train from Florence to Rome, which is definitely the easiest mode of transportation. I think like direct, it's an hour and 30-ish minutes. I was a little shocked when we got there. I mean, I didn't really know what to expect. Rome is massive. But when we got there, we just kind of walked around the streets and explored a little bit. We actually had this awesome hotel that was in the city center. It overlooks the Pantheon, so we were right in the center of everything. But we mostly did a lot of exploring when we first got there. Of course, since we were staying right next to the Pantheon, we went inside. It's definitely worth it, super beautiful. A lot of crowds when we went. It was just starting to be busy season, so there was a lot more crowds than we expected. One of the major tips I can give, major key alert, wake up early and go see all of the major tourist destination spots that you want to see. We set our alarms by 5:30. We were out of the hotel by like 6 a.m. We grabbed a cup of coffee and we went to the Trevi Fountain. Nobody was there. We got the best pictures of us alone. Afterwards, we went to the Spanish Steps. A lot of the pictures I've seen, there's tons of people in the background. We got so lucky. We were like one of 20 people there. So if you are looking for photo opportunities that don't have a lot of tourists in the background, oh my gosh, please wake up early. It is so worth it. You have to make reservations to go see the Colosseum. So we went and we did that. To be completely honest, it was a little, I don't know how to explain it. I mean, it was definitely worth seeing if you're there. The history behind it, if you know the history, it makes it a little bit more interesting. But we were a little underwhelmed by the whole experience. There's tons of crowds outside. It can be a little overwhelming to get inside in the first place. You know, we walked around, we did our thing. And then there's actually, if you walk up the hill that is across from the Colosseum, you'll find a road that has less foot traffic completely and you're kind of positioned above. It's a perfect spot to take pictures, to take videos. We got some of our best photos in front of the Colosseum there. And of course, since we were in Rome, we went to go see the Vatican Museum. And the Vatican Museum was something I was so stoked about. And obviously, if you've been following me by now, you know I'm a huge art fan. So of course to see the Sistine Chapel, but everything else inside as well. Heads up, if you don't like crowds, you're most likely not gonna like the Vatican. They position it so you're all walking in like this massive crowd through all of these different rooms. It was a little overwhelming. They allow videos except for inside the Sistine Chapel. We kind of snuck some video, which was cool. But the Vatican Museum in its entirety, I'd rate it like a 6 out of 10. It was very overwhelming. The crowd control was out of control. But once we got to the Sistine Chapel, it was amazing. There's truly nothing like it. They give you like a little pamphlet and it explains the different panels, starting from, you know, point A to point B across the ceiling. So that was super helpful, but they are very adamant, no talking or loud noises, definitely no cameras. People were getting yelled at left and right to put away their phones. So we did sneak some video, which was cool, but I guess very illegal, so live and learn. We ate at some pretty good restaurants too. My number one recommendation would be Grazie Graziella. It is in a smaller district across the river, and it was pretty good food, fairly priced as well. We had a good time there. The wait staff was super awesome and very friendly. Free drinks and after beverages and whatnot. We did try the famous Gelateria La Romana. It was good. It wasn't anything super special in my personal opinion. I've definitely had better gelato, I think, in Florence, but definitely worth a try. The city of Rome has so much history, so it was a lot to be packed into 48 hours. It's definitely worth just to walk around and explore. We found some beautiful street corners. The colors on the buildings are super unique, and the peaches mixed with the tans, and it definitely had a different vibe than Florence, of course. I mean, the population difference, I think Rome has over 1 million residents, and Florence is like over 300,000. So I mean, there's definitely going to be a difference in atmosphere. If you are planning on going, it's definitely worth planning out what you want to see and when you want to see it. I know especially during busy season, a lot of the reservation spots can fill up to see the Vatican. We got very, very, very lucky and found something the day before we were gonna go. It is a little pricey to get in there. Like I said, you know, I think it's worth it to see if you're there, but be prepared for the crowds, because it was something I wasn't personally expecting. And by the time we got through the Sistine Chapel, all of us were like, we need to step outside, because we were so overwhelmed. I mean, it's just like shoulder to shoulder people. We did have a great time. We got drinks. We stayed at the Grand Hotel La Minerve. Highly recommend. It's a beautiful, beautiful space. They had just opened up their rooftop bar, and it had great views of the Pantheon and the city. We felt like we definitely could have spent more time there. I mean, of course, you could spend weeks in a city just exploring. It was jam-packed of what we wanted to see and what we wanted to do. So this is my final video of traveling while being abroad. It's a little bittersweet, but I am working on a couple more videos. I'm hoping to get a video together of a couple tips, maybe specific to Florence, or you know, like 5 things I wish I would have known before I had gone abroad, just so I can kind of pass on some of the information and maybe help some other people who, you know, were in the same position that I was and get a head start to that. But I'm working on something super, super exciting. I cannot wait to share it. I'm gonna be collaborating with one of my good friends from high school, and hopefully putting together something that kind of does a good recap of my experience abroad. But for those of you who have been watching these videos since the start, I can't thank you enough. You know, this was something that was supposed to just be a way for me to share my experiences. But yeah, keep your eyes peeled. I should be releasing something, I'm hoping, within the next month. I'm super, super excited about it. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time.